Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today's film is Friday the 13th, because it is Friday the 13th. Last Friday the 13th, I was going through like the TV guide, and I couldn't find a Friday the 13th movie on it, and I was just shocked that like no one showed Friday the 13th movies on Friday the 13th. So from now on, every Friday the 13th, I'm going to do a video review of one of the Friday the 13th films. I'm just going to go in order. And this is the first one. Okay, Friday the 13th was basically made to capitalize off the success of Halloween. There were a ton of different holidays they tried to make scary movies out of, but there's really only one day that's scary except for Halloween. This film understands it's like a slasher genre movie, and it's not trying to do anything other than that. Basically what they did is they took the opening shot of Halloween, where, you know, you have that tracking shot from Michael Myers' perspective, and they basically make that the whole movie, and they make that the killer. That's a really cool part of Halloween to take. It's like combining the idea of Jaws and Halloween to make like this really cool slasher movie. And I like how they use the camera, and you're not sure if the camera's from the perspective of the killer, or if it's just the camera, like they're doing handheld. What they do with the camera when they're doing the handheld stuff, how, you know, the girl's in the cabin by herself, and you know, she's just walking around, and to build like kind of the tension, like she needs to go out and look for the other people, they just have the camera slowly like move in on her. And it was shot by this guy Barry Adams, who really didn't do anything else, but I mean he did like I think another horror film. The music they used with Harry Manfredi, I think that's how you say it, Harry Manfredi maybe? I don't know. He used the Jaws score, because basically the score in Jaws is the shark, and in Friday the 13th the score is the killer. Oh, the music's only played alongside the killer, so you kind of almost know when the camera perspective is the killer's rather than just like handheld stuff that's trying to freak you out and trick you. And then the music stops right before to give you a little scare, which I thought was really cool. They even get touches of like Night of the Hunter at the end of this thing, like it's very like kind of well thought out. Most people when they hear Friday the 13th they think Jason, but Jason isn't really the killer in this. You know, I think it's cool. I like that the director of this film did not want Jason to come back. He thought that was stupid. He liked the idea of just the mom. Oh, this was not released on Friday the 13th. This was released on May 9th. 1980. And actually, no Friday the 13th movie was released on Friday the 13th until the third one. But you know, Halloween came out in August, so. The director of this film, Sean S. Cunningham, he had worked with Wes Craven, I think he was a producer or something, on Last House on the Left, and he wanted to do something more thrilling and more fun, because as fun as Last House on the Left is, no, he wanted this to be like more like a roller coaster ride than a, yeah, well, you've seen Last House on the Left, you know. Oh, this was, believe it or not, the 8th highest grossing film of 1980. And it was an independent film, and Paramount bought the rights to it after it was screened for them, so Paramount just bought it. Tom Savini did the makeup. I don't know if this is true or not, but it seems to be, I can't find anything to disprove it, that he came up with the ending with Jason. The ending's really interesting, and I love how they build up Jason. I mean, even though the director says he didn't really want Jason to be the killer in all these sequels, he didn't like that idea, he set it up so heavily that it's kind of like ridiculous. He says one thing, but the film says something else. So what's going on there, man? I don't know. But I think it's a really, really cool movie, and it's fun. And like I turned off all the lights and like had fun with it and like got into it, and I had a blast. It was cool, you know. I love all the death scenes. The death scene of the traveling girl, there's some shots that part of me thinks, I don't know if Sam Raimi kind of saw some of those shots and like, what if I sped that shit up? I don't know if that's true. I just get that vibe. It's cool to see a horror movie that learned the right lessons from the films before it. You don't see that many horror films that are this well shot and this well made. I think it's a great movie, and I hadn't seen it in a while, and I knew I was going to do this video, and I didn't know what my reaction was going to be, but I had a good time and went with it. And if you're gonna just frown your face at horror, then whatever, go away. But if you like wanna enjoy this and get into it, I'd say rent it. It's like kind of a fun popcorn movie, but it's also a good horror movie. Oh yeah, Kevin Bacon is in this. It's very visual, and I think that's kind of the cool thing about it. I think that's why this movie works so well. If you have seen Friday the 13th and would like to talk about it, you can comment below in the comments down there, and subscribe if you would like to. So I will hopefully be doing Friday the 13th Part 2, and the next Friday the 13th is 2011. That is Friday, May 13th, 2011, when I will do Part 2. Typically, There's a Friday the 13th every year, but at most there can be only 3 Friday the 13th. I think that's it.